Greeting YouTube. I started doing this stuff so that I could do Transformers reviews, and so far I have not done a busting lot of those. So I'm about to correct that with something that I picked up today at the London Toy Fair. These are what in Japan were released as Arms Micron Gashapon. Here they are Transformers Prime Transforming Figure Collection. This is part 2, which I don't think's actually been distributed yet. Somebody very nice on the Tomy stand managed to sort me this one out. They had the rest of the series out on display and said, if I'm going to give you one, I'll give you a closed packet. There's only one that I wanted, but luckily I'm pretty good at working out what's in these things. Okay, so first of all, Series 2 seems to consist of a Bulkhead Power Fist, Megatron, some sort of power cannon, RC into a pistol, and a grey and orange turtle into shield. I saw part 1 of this collection, which has Optimus, Bumblebee, and 2 different Cobras and 2 different Lizards in Toys R Us back just before Christmas. Let's have a look at what's actually in it. Opening them is pretty easy because right there you've got a pre-cut tear. It goes all the way down. And we have the leaflet. Again, the figures. And warning, choking hazard, small parts not for children, etc, etc, etc. Inside a unsealed poly bag, we have one half of Bulkhead, and the second part. Okay, let's see. That looks like that goes on to... there we go. It's just there. Pegs snapping in there. And that will curl around to make that little guy. Let me just adjust the light a bit. Now, I don't have a lot of tiny robots to compare him to, apart from... there's Trailbreaker from the Last of the Legends, and there is the Target Master that came with Cyclonus. Now, as you can see, it's about the same height as the Target Master, but he's a lot bulkier. Actually, I think he's even wider than Trailblazer. Yeah. Sorry, Trailcutter. Articulation-wise, he is on a ball jointed at the arms, ball jointed at the feet, no mid-arm, no mid-leg. Head is pretty solid. He's got what seems to be 2 hinges for transformation at 3 hinges, because he's also got the shoulders there. he's got one little bit of, let's see if I can get the camera to focus on that, one little bit of translucent plastic with a Autobot logo held right in the middle there, which becomes his crotch in robot mode. And for one more size comparison, yeah, he doesn't even come up above the foot of Voyager Bulkhead. Detailing on this tiny bulkhead is pretty minimal. There's quite a lot of sculpted detail in on the chest, a little bit on the arms. The additional ports on the side make a good rep of wheels. He's as hollow in the middle as his Robots in Disguise counterpart. Back's pretty bland, and back round to the other side. There are 4 little paint taps of silver and some teeny tiny blue dots for eyes on the very tiny head. Transformation is sort of simple. It's basically involves stretching him out, putting his heel spurs into 2 little divots on the back, pointing the arms straight back. Now you can see that there are 2 little holes in that plate and 2 little spikes there. You should be able to push these up to cover the head, snapping those shoulders together, and being able to push the arms into those holes, but I've had absolutely no luck in doing so. And as you can see there, if you align one over one side, the other one looks way too far off. So let's just try pinning in one side. And assume that they're meant to have both a left and right hand version. What you're left with on the inside is a 5mm peg there and a 5mm bar there. I mean, you should be able to push those into hands to make a nice big power fist, or on some of them be able to mount it onto the arms. Now, don't know how much sense this really makes with trying to give Bulkhead a massive power fist with using a miniaturized version of himself, but that is incredibly tight to get into that hole, and that's just popped off the way it came in the packaging. But no, that looks pretty good. That gives him a nice massive right hook of doom. Here you have the entirely less menacing knockout, ready to give somebody a massive fist. Here it looks far more like an armor upgrade. It still has a very claw-like feel to it, and it is just pushed into his hand there. But the curl of that breastplate really does make it feel far more like an extension of some sort of massive grabbing arm. I love the fact that these things are finally over here. A lot of us thought that they weren't ever going to be released. Hasbro had no news on them, so the fact that Tomy have released them in these blind bags is absolutely fantastic. I think I'm actually going to go back and pick up a lot of the first series and see what some of the combined weapons can be. These are retailing for around £2.50, which is about average for a blind bag these days. Lego going for about £2, the Mega Bloks figures going for around £2. But you're not going to get a fantastic little mini-con like this for anything like that money anywhere else. Definitely worth an investment. Definitely looks good on your Transformers line, and yeah, I would give this particular figure a stonking 8 out of 10. Would go all the way up to 10 if there were a little bit more articulation and maybe a few more paint apps. This has been Bulkhead from the Transformers Prime Transforming Figure Collection Part 2 from Tomy. Available at the moment, I know, at Toys R Us, but hopefully some other retailers as well pretty soon. Thanks for watching.